We're talking with Mustang head football coach Cory Sauter as the Mustangs prepare for the spring game coming up this Saturday. And Coach, you've been coaching here for a while and have played your entire life. Is this one of the most unusual springs you've had to deal with, especially as a college player and now as a college coach?
Well, I definitely have to say this is the worst spring weather I've ever witnessed as far as a player or as a coach, and it can be frustrating. And I know we're limited as far as the number of opportunities outside, but we try to turn everything into a positive, and so we practice indoors. We're able to get a lot of reps and just teach and get guys to understand concepts more than anything. It eliminated some of the hitting, so we stayed relatively healthy during that stretch, but by no means is that something that we want to continue in years down the road. But we were able to get some good work regardless of the weather, and it'd be nice to wrap up with a nice spring game and get ourselves ready for their off-season program.
You've talked about your coaches and your entire staff, just how resilient the players have been to go in and out and help clear that field. But through and through, they've have very good attitudes and still getting their work in.
Yeah, we've cleared the field off about 2-3 times, and I swear every single time we try to clear the field off, we'll get another 6 to 8 inches of snow, and so I think the players are starting to doubt our work out there out on the field, and but all in all, they've been great. I mean, they just have great attitudes. They work hard, not only on the field, but obviously in their workouts in the weight room, as well as just in the classroom with our meetings as well. So it's more than just practices. I mean, there's a lot that we can do besides practice to get these guys ready, and that's how it has to be. I mean, we really don't have a whole lot of control over the weather, and so we actually got a lot accomplished, more than I thought we would, and it was just good for us to come together and accomplish some things besides just some of the hitting aspects.
What were some of the things that you and your staff look for during these spring drills? Obviously, every year you're looking at maybe some of the younger players to no longer are red shirts. Now they're red shirt freshmen. They're going to be able to play in the fall. But what are some of the main things that you and your staff try to evaluate here in these 3 weeks of spring practice?
Well, during this time, we really want to install our base offense, our base defense, and our base special teams. And it's really the first time where we include our young players. The first time was during training camp, but they're very, very limited as far as what they're actually doing within our system. So for us, this is a great time for us just to slow things down and teach the basic fundamentals of what we're trying to accomplish. And so it really allows us to get a lot done in a short period of time and really show them on film what we're trying to accomplish. And so for us, it's just been good that way, just to slow things down so that they totally understand what we're trying to get out of them, why we're calling certain plays or certain defenses, and understanding not only their position but why they need to do what they need to do within that coverage or within that scheme itself. And the light starts to turn on a little bit for them, and then they'll have another opportunity in the fall to go through it one more time, and hopefully by that point they'll be ready to compete, because as you well know, things move pretty fast on game day, and we've got to create as many reps as possible so that they're just reacting and not thinking out on the field.
Well, talk about the spring game. You go offense versus defense. You go 45 minutes to an hour. Kind of talk about what fans can expect on Saturday's controlled scrimmage.
Right. Well, it'll be offense versus defense, and during spring we're fairly limited in numbers. We're going to have about 65 to 70 players on a roster during the spring, and then you're going to have a couple guys that are injured. So realistically, about 60 players will be competing and playing in the spring game. We have a point system, so it'll be based on first downs or big plays. Offense will be rewarded for those situations. Defensively, if they create a turnover, or they get off the field, create a 3 and out, they're going to get points for that as well. And this game has been fairly competitive over the years. I mean, a lot of times it comes down to the last play, and so it is somewhat of an exciting event for us. And also too, just seeing some of our young guys, how they compete and how they handle a game-like situation. But again, it's only going to be about 45 minutes to an hour, just because it's going to be pure offense versus defense. There really isn't going to be a whole lot of breaks. We will build in a few breaks in there just for our guys to grab some water and grab a breather. But for the most part, it's going to be pure football for that stretch of time. So it should be a fun event. I know our young guys are really excited to get out there again and actually compete. And it'll be the first time we'll actually tackle as well. You know, the entire spring we haven't tackled a single guy, at least by design. And so it'll be interesting to see how well our defensive players are able to wrap up and tackle our ball carriers.
All right, Coach, thanks for a few minutes, and have a good, safe scrimmage spring game on Saturday, and we'll talk to you again this summer.
All right. Thanks, Kelly.